Alright, so it looks like Fortnite is as addictive as heroin. Parents are sending their children to rehab because they are so addicted to playing Fortnite. You've got addiction to alcohol, addiction to meth, addiction to heroin, and at the very top of that list, you have got addiction to Fortnite. Now, I'm honestly just trying to wrap my head around this situation because I find this situation to be ridiculous, I find it to be funny, and I find it to be sad because you have these children that are so addicted to playing video games that their parents have nowhere else to turn aside from just sending them to rehab. So today I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at a bunch of videos and read a bunch of articles that I found online, and these videos are from news outlets. So we've got anchors talking about Fortnite, explaining what it is and explaining how bad it is for the younger generations. We've also got videos like parents hiring their children Fortnite coaches or Fortnite tutors. If kids are so addicted to playing Fortnite and they're being sent to rehab, then you have parents hiring coaches and hiring tutors so the children can get better at Fortnite so they can then play it even more. It's just... I just don't know. I really just don't know. Now, I really don't know how legitimate or how truthful these news outlets or these news sources are, so I don't even know if all of this is real, and I like to hope it's not real. At the same time, I find it to be kind of humorous, so I wanted to go ahead and take a look at these videos and read these articles with you guys and just sort of try to figure out what the heck is going on in this world. Alright, so we'll start off with a couple of articles that I was able to find, and this article is titled, "Fortnite Addiction is Forcing Kids into Video Game Rehab." Debbie Vinity is fighting a losing battle against Fortnite. Oh my god, dude. Already. Her 17-year-old son, Carson, has been logging 12 hours a day on the video game, searching for weapons and resources in a post-apocalyptic world where the goal is being the last person standing. Teachers complain he falls asleep in class and his grades have plummeted. Alright, so this kid is 17 years old, and I feel like when I was 17 years old, I like to think that I had the maturity to take a step back from playing video games and just really not spend hours into the night playing where I can't even function in class and I'm falling asleep because I played so much video games the night before. I feel like I had the maturity and I had the self-awareness to pull myself away from that. And again, I was playing a lot of video games in high school. I had this YouTube channel when I was in high school. I started it my sophomore to junior year in high school. So I know the feeling of playing a bunch of video games in high school, but the fact that you're almost 18 years old and you really can't pull yourself away from a situation like this, I think is a little bit immature and a little bit ridiculous. We'd made some progress in getting him to cut down his Fortnite hours and get better sleep, but he slipped back into his old habits. Vinity, who lives near Saginaw, Michigan, said in an interview, "I've never seen a game that has such control over kids' minds." Vinity's anguish is echoed by an army of other parents, teachers, and bosses around the world grappling with a game that sucks up hours of players' time, sometimes to the detriment of other activities. More than 200 million people have registered to play Fortnite, which has become a billion-dollar business for its creator, Epic Games. Some desperate parents have sent their kids to rehab. Oh my god. The game is like heroin, said Laureen Marr, a British behavioral specialist who works with kids battling game addiction. Once you are hooked, it's hard to get unhooked. Alright, so you guys kind of get the point of that article. You've got kids so addicted to Fortnite that they can't even really function properly in classes. Again, this is a 17-year-old kid, and as I said, I like to think that when I was 17 years old, I had the self-awareness to really pull myself out of an addictive situation. But I totally understand how young, impressionable kids, maybe 12 years and younger, maybe even 14 years and younger, could be so addicted to playing Fortnite that it's really hard to sort of pull themselves away from a situation like this. Alright, so now let's take a look at a video that was posted on Good Morning America. This was actually posted back in March, so a couple of months ago, right when Fortnite was truly starting to gain a lot of traction, and let's just see what these people have to say.
Our GMA cover story, a parenting alert about a popular video game so many kids are playing.
That's right, Robin. Video games are facing some new scrutiny this morning. President Trump has announced he's meeting with video game executives next week to discuss violent content following the deadly Florida school shooting. This is a new game called Fortnite is drawing millions of players, and some parents are worrying their kids are spending way too much time at the controls.
Alright, so this was obviously posted online shortly after the school shooting in Florida that occurred here in the United States earlier this year, and obviously that was a huge tragedy. And I feel like whenever a tragedy like this or a school shooting or any type of shooting occurs, a lot of people point fingers and they put the blame on violent video games. For some reason, a lot of people like to think that playing violent video games leads to violent tendencies and it leads to these shootings, and I think that that is such a ridiculous and such an ignorant claim. Now, obviously, there are very, very small situations where someone is so susceptible to violence that anytime they see something violent, they want to act it out or they want to copy what they saw, whether it be in a movie, whether it be in something they read, or even a video game. I would agree that there are some people in this world that have mental issues or issues going on in their head where whenever they see something in a video game or see something somewhere else that's violent, they do wish to act it out. But I feel like the overwhelming majority of rational people definitely would see that playing violent video games in no way really leads to aggression. It really doesn't lead to violent tendencies, and it definitely does not lead to mass shootings.
It's the online game that has fans in a frenzy. Fortnite's objective? Players in the game's free Battle Royale version join teams and battle up to 100 others to be the last person standing.
That's right. You always want to be number one,
multiplayer
baby.
Melee, drawing comparisons to blockbuster franchise The Hunger Games.
I volunteer as tribute.
With millions of
Hunger
users,
Games up in this,
from kids to even
apparently.
celebrities like Chance the Rapper, Joe Jonas, and Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster caught up in the craze.
I'm at this party right now, and all I'm thinking about is Fortnite.
Over 40 million people
He's
in
just
America
all he's thinking
play
about is
this game.
Fortnite.
So the crazy part is, chances are you know somebody who's enjoying it.
And with the option for users to buy upgrades and bonus features, the company reportedly raking in big bucks off the game's big buzz.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were making
That's
hundreds
true.
upon hundreds of thousands on any given day. In fact, maybe even
Yeah,
over
they're
a
making
million.
hundreds
For
of
some
millions of
parents,
dollars a month from V-Bucks and skins and other cosmetic items in the game. So speaking of which, if you guys do plan on purchasing any skins in the item shop, make sure that you guys use my supporter creator code SWIFTERS. Go ahead and plug that code in. I would be greatly grateful. Oh, what a shameless plug. Hey, but seriously though, use my supporter creator code and that would be dope. I feel like that's just bad. That's just fueling kids' addictions to play Fortnite and to continue to buy skins.
Fortnite's popularity is now a cause for concern.
I mean, I just love this game. It's great.
Amy Selling says her kids are so caught up in the game, she sometimes won't see them for hours after school.
I can see that.
November, December. Around that time, I guess that's when they slowly started to disappear.
She wrote about her experience in a blog titled "How I Lost My Children to Fortnite."
How
The
I
post
Lost My
garnering
Children to
big response
Fortnite.
from other parents across the
Oh
country.
my gosh.
Everyone's sort of struggling with the same thing. How much time do we let our children actually play this where they're not fighting and they think they've had enough time and I'm not the bad guy?
I really just don't know. I mean, I feel like as a parent, you have to be an authoritative figure and you need to say, no, enough is enough. And that's what it is. You got to just say, no, you cannot play any more Fortnite, because you really just do not want to be in a situation where your child is yelling and screaming at you where they can go back and play Fortnite or they just burn the house down. All right, let's move on to this next video. It's also posted by Good Morning America, and let's see what they have to say.
Story on the Fortnite phenomenon. More than 125 million people across the globe play the video game. Usually you hear about parents trying to get their kids to put down the controls, but in a story we first spotted in the Wall Street Journal, parents are trying to help.
Why are they holding dogs? Why are they holding dogs?
By hiring tutors, coaches for them. Deb Roberts is here with that. I know what? Hi, Deb.
I cannot believe that parents actually hire tutors.
I want to bring my
for their
pepper, but
Fortnite
we'll come
kids
to that
and hire
later.
coaches. I
Well,
think
Robin,
it's
this is a
ridiculous,
trend that is
honestly.
raising some eyebrows. Now, we've heard of parents hiring coaches to help their kids with Little League Baseball or football, or maybe even on the chess team. But a tutor for gaming? Come on. Well, some parents say esports are just as legitimate, and it's also good for family bonding.
Good for family bonding. I just feel like this is the complete opposite, because if you have a child that wants to play Fortnite and then you hire a coach or you hire a tutor to allow them to get better at Fortnite, all they're going to want to do is practice. All they're going to want to do is continue to play Fortnite, and I can guarantee you they are not going to want to go and eat dinner with you. They're not going to want to go ahead and watch a movie or TV with you as a family. All they're going to want to go ahead and do is go to their room and play Fortnite.
I think our time with them is super limited, especially with work, and I was kind of watching them play, and I thought, like, I should check this out.
Okay, I mean, I kind of get it if you want to bond with your child and sit there and watch him play Fortnite. That's understandable, but if you think that hiring a tutor or hiring coaches for these children to get better at Fortnite so they'll then appreciate you, I really don't know what the rationale is. Maybe they just want to watch their kids play Fortnite by sitting there and just watching them enjoy playing video games. Then I kind of understand that, and I guess they don't want their kids to be losers. I guess they want to hire tutors so their kids could be good and they don't get bullied for being bad at Fortnite, but I feel like you may become a target of bullying if all of your friends find out that you're so bad at Fortnite that your parents had to hire a tutor. Again, I'm just making jokes right now because I really don't understand the severity of each situation because I'm not a parent, but I think it's a little bit ridiculous that parents are hiring tutors for their kids. All right, let's just go ahead and move on to another video right now, and let's see what this video has to say.
If you have kids who play video games, I am sure you've heard of the game Fortnite. Well, a new study shows more than 60% of teens have played it. Some parents, though, are so concerned about the amount of time their kids spend playing that they are sending them to video game rehab. While you're listening to this story, grab your phones and get ready to vote in our viewer voice poll.
Like so many popular games, Fortnite plunges players into a virtual multiplayer world.
Wow!
The game's creator says more than 200 million people have registered accounts, up 60% since June. And a quarter of parents are concerned about how much their kids play.
Well, this year, the drug of choice, as we call it, is Fortnite.
Look at him in the back. He is just peeking around the corner.
Now, some parents are sending their kids to Reset Summer Camp, a 4-week program that focuses on teen tech addiction.
When kids are at your camp, is it like a detox?
Jesus.
Yes, absolutely. Most of these kids have been staying up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. They have terrible eating and sleeping habits. So it takes us about a week to get everybody on the same schedule and on the same nutritional plan.
RJ Morris used to spend 3 hours a day gaming.
I feel like if you're anywhere between 9 and 13 years old, you really don't have very many other priorities if you're not playing sports. I mean, you go to school and then you do kind of a little bit of homework, maybe an hour of homework max, and then 3 hours in the afternoon. That's not an absurd amount of time. But still, I mean, if playing video games is taking away from you doing homework or you doing other activities like sports or hanging out with your family or friends, then yeah, that's a considerable amount of time.
With less detail than I probably should have. I didn't focus as well on things I should have.
Okay,
and
so
I just
he's not doing
zoned
well
out
in
at
school.
times.
He's not
So this year, the 14-year-old's family signed him up for Reset Summer Camp.
Okay, he's
no
14 years
devices
old.
for a whole month and a focus on therapy and learning life
No
skills like
devices for a
cooking and
month.
laundry.
I like to think that I'm a bit more mature. I've been managing my
That's good.
time
He
with
has some
electronics quite a
self-awareness.
bit better. I'm just all around improved.
His family
Okay,
now
good for
uses
this
a
kid.
timer
Good
to
for
limit
this
his
kid.
playtime.
I want you
This family's
to
doing
have
it right.
the ending the game when the timer goes off.
Coolio, can do.
These
But
parents...
he still can play.
Coolio, can do. But seriously, these parents appear to be doing it right, and this kid appears to be responding well to that summer camp and responding well to that Fortnite rehab.
After all, technology is not going away.
The big question I had is, okay, the camp sounds great, but how much does it cost? So they told me between $7,000 and $8,000, but it's a multi-week camp, obviously.
Oh my God, $7,000 to $8,000. Oh, that's so much money to have your kids stop playing video games. I mean, granted, from my understanding of this camp, it's like a month-long, maybe sleepaway camp where you just don't have technology, you don't have your phone, you can't play these video games, but $7,000 to $8,000 is a lot of money just to have your kids stop being addicted to Fortnite. But you know, if these parents really have nowhere else to turn and they got to send their kids to rehab, then I guess you got to do what you got to do. I don't know, guys. I just found this situation to be kind of ridiculous, and I can't believe this is what this world has come to. But again, I'm not a parent. I don't have any children, so I really just Really have no idea how these children are operating or how these parents are feeling or what the situation is like. But again, this is my opinion. This is my commentary on this weird, ridiculous situation. And I'm super curious to hear your guys' feedback about kids being so addicted to Fortnite that they're being sent to rehab. Again, we have these articles and these authors of these articles saying that Fortnite is as addictive as heroin. And I just find it to be really ridiculous. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. So guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new. With that being said, I'll be sure to catch you guys later.